Hi Laura, it's Lisa, and I've got your Getting Started assignment in front of me. This is the Outside the Book assignment, Getting Started, and I want to show you how you can clean this up. So the first thing I notice is that there are a number of icons here in the indicators, and these are all task constraints. There was a video that showed you how to reset these. You shouldn't have these unless the instructions explicitly say to set them. So to reset them to the default, you would simply double click on any one of them. That opens up the Task Information dialog box. Go to Advanced, the Advanced tab, and then reset it to as soon as possible with no date. So this sets it to the most flexible constraint type. This is the default setting. And when I click OK, you'll see that icon disappears. So same thing with these other tasks. Just double click, as soon as possible, no date. All right, I'm going to do the rest of them really quickly. Okay, now they're all set. The other thing that I see is that there's some push pins in some of these blue Gantt chart bars. The push pins, of course, mean that it's manually scheduled. You can see here from the buttons. The blue bars mean it's auto-scheduled, and all tasks should always be auto-scheduled. So I'm going to highlight all of these. I'm just dragging over the rows, and I'm going to click Auto-Schedule. Okay, so now they're all auto-scheduled, and that will allow the project to automatically update. If you change the dates or the predecessors, it will automatically update. Okay, there's a little guy down here, and I'm just going to right-click on this row and say Delete Task, just to clean that up. All right, now let's just check in with the dates. If I look at the screenshot solution, it's supposed to start on January 7th and end on February 13th. So you have it on the 21st, and remember, to set a project start date, you want to go to Project, Project Information, and this is, of course, where you pick the overall start date. So the idea is you set the start date here in this special dialog box, and it changes it here. You shouldn't touch any of these dates. As long as you've got your tasks and indentation right, your task mode, no constraints, your durations, and your predecessors, these dates will automatically line up. And you can see when I changed it from that dialog box, it automatically changed it here. Now, the end date isn't quite right, but let's see if the problem with that is going to be either the durations, possibly the predecessors. We even want to look over here in the calendar and make sure everything's right there. Okay, so it starts on the 7th. The next phase, or let's look at the durations for the phases. It's supposed to be 5 days, 10 days, and 12 days. And we have 4, 10, and 12, so there's something wrong here. Let's look at the durations. I see these two tasks should be 3 and 2. And so that means I need to change that date to 3. Okay. Now, the durations look good. I've got 3 and 2, 5, 2, 3, and 10 and 2. That looks good. I can also look at the overall dates here for these phases. This research phase starts on the 7th, ends on the 14th. It's what, whoops, looks like it ends on the 13th here. And that's going to affect, of course, the other dates. Now, if I see some date issues like that, again, what could affect the dates? It could be the durations, but we've got that. Could be the indentation, but that looks good. So the other thing to look at is the calendar. So I'm going to go to Change Working Time. I'm in the Project tab, Change Working Time, and look at the calendar. Yeah, and what you see here is you've got a bunch of different Martin Luther King days accidentally on wrong dates. And that's, of course, going to block out some of those days. So we just need to click on these rows, and I'm pressing the Delete key on my keyboard. Even these unnamed rows, you can't leave them in there. You got to delete them, or it will block off some days. Now, and you can see in this one, it's blocking off a bunch of days for Martin Luther King's birthday. And even though, yes, indeed, it's actually on the 15th, it's only celebrated in 2014 on the 20th. So we've got to make the start and the end day the 20th. And then if I click off, I can look around here in the calendar. Yeah, now just the 20th is blue. Okay, I'm going to click OK. And boom, you can see all the dates adjusted. And I think we're set now because look, it starts on the 7th and it ends on the 13th. And let's check the screenshot solution. Yep, that's it. So it's perfect because your predecessors were perfect. That's it. That will clean it up. Go through that because those are the core features in that program, and that will really help you, especially prepare for the final. All right, that's it. Talk to you soon.